Now, our next guest, welcome back, of course. The hashtag is Breakfast Daily. So all social media platforms. 0550-585-832. Then our next guest, the conversation is going to be riveting. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you have questions, kindly send us messages. We'll read them out here on air. Now, his name may be lost on a lot of you, but his works, oh, they'll blow your mind. They'll blow your mind. Newlove Annan is the person that we're going to speak to this morning. He's far bigger than his name. Good morning.
Good morning, David.
How are you?
I'm good, David.
It's good to have you here. Now, as we were bantering earlier, just before we came on air, I mean, I already have goosebumps.
No, David.
Just talking to you. Let's, first of all, set the stage by letting people know what it is that they already know that connects them to you. Okay, Frema, you want to do the honors?
Of course, and why not? Because this song does something to me. So I'm sure you've heard Adome humobro bede ma bejuhane nya adu amya besine. You never gave a promise. I thought I got a joy. It would be easy. Your grace and mercy has brought me thus far. Your grace and mercy is all I need. Your grace and mercy has brought us thus far. How did you get this song?
Frema, good. It's by inspiration. I think that David said it all.
Yeah.
There are some kinds of songs that you get, from the Holy Spirit. Or for me, I'm a Christian, so I believe in that.
Yes.
That stands the test of time in music. That is what we call classical, type of music, because it never fades out. And I will not claim credit for this because I've been composing since I was about 12 years. I've composed many songs. But this particular song, I wrote it one evening. The text and the music and everything just came all at once. I was in New York, and the text and the music just came to me. I wrote it down, and I kept it for a long time. I think I wrote it in 2010 or so.
Okay.
Until James Amar, he was the director of Harmonious Chorale. Yes, he asked me if I have any new compositions that I wanted them to do. So I sent it to him, and he taught his choir. And everywhere I go, people talk about that particular song.
Yes. So, Newlove Annan is a trained minister of church music. He's a Christian worship and liturgics from reputable institutions, both in Ghana and abroad. Now, when you listen to the song, you can tell the kind of composer that he is, a great one at that. Now, take us back to, growing up and all. You just mentioned that you started composing music at the age of 12. Who are you? Who are your parents? How were you able to do all these?
So thank you very much, Ma'am Frema. You already mentioned my name, Newlove Annan. A lot of people ask me whether I'm an Eve or something with that kind of first name. I'm a Fanti, both parents. And my father tells me that there was a man at GBC whom he loved so much. He was called Newlove Mamata.
Yeah.
And so my father named me after me after that man. Yes. So I was born by Reverend Francis Kwame Annan. He's deceased now. He was a Methodist minister. And my mother is Mrs. Felicia Annan. So my father was an organist and a minister at the same time. He wasn't too good, but he wished that his son learn how to play, because he couldn't play as much as he wanted to because of ministerial and other things. So he taught me at a very early age. So I was what people would describe as a child prodigy. At the age of about 4 or so, I was already playing.
Wow.
So I was born in the early mid 1970s. So in 1979, whilst the coup was going on at GBC, I was there recording for Children's Own. There was a program that was called Children's Own. Yes, that was hosted by one Antitina Moses.
Yes,
I was there recording. So I've been playing for a long time before.
You've taken us back.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
I was there recording for that program. So I started playing before I could even, be aware that I was playing. So I was the work of my father and God. The two of them architected this kind of thing. So I'm very grateful.
Wow.
I read somewhere that you were very ill one time, and the song Grace and Mercy came to you. Tell us about those moments.
Yes, that's very true. So I left Ghana in 2003, I believe, to study abroad. And the first time I visited Ghana back was in 2010, when the Harmonious Chorale and Dr. Joyce Ayi organized an evening for me at the National Theatre. So after that, I returned back to the States. And whilst I was returning back, for some reason, I was so ill in the airplane. It started from here. And I got to New York, and it was one thing after the other. I was so sick. I've never been that sick before for the first time. So I even thought that because maybe I had been away from Ghana for a long time, and I came, and maybe I drank some water that I shouldn't have. I didn't know, but it was a series of things going on. And then it turned into some hiccups and some other things. And it was almost like I was losing my life. So when I was recovering, I remember, was when this song came to me. I am not a superstitious person or anything, but I usually connect my sickness and the time that I was getting well to the song, because I don't know whether I would have gotten the song if I hadn't gone through that kind of situation.
Experience.
So maybe I'm still trying to find out the whole story, but I believe that maybe it was a time when God wanted to speak to me and give me the song.
Wow. Now let me take you back, to your educational stages. You were at the University of Ghana.
Yes.
And you were, I don't know if you were tutored or if you had any encounters with J.H. Nketia, Dr. Willie Anku, God bless his soul. Because I met Dr. Willie Anku as well in University of Ghana. He taught me a bit of music. Dr. Willie Anku did the A Nation Calls for Duty Now, It's for One and All for the NIA song. Yes. And Dr. Joshua Amwa as well.
Yes.
Tell us, what you learned from these people, the kind of impact they had on you, especially your musical career.
Yes. So, like I said, my father taught me how to play this, and I started writing songs. But I wasn't aware that I was already doing things because I had some contacts, with some kind of culture or what some other people were doing. So the first time that I was aware about all this was when I wrote a song. I was already in Legon in '96. I wrote an anthem called Mobodewu. And the Winneba Youth Choir performed it at Professor K. Buzia's memorial lecture or something like that. I heard so much about Professor Nketia, but I thought about him as a spirit, not as a person that I would ever come into contact with.
I can understand that.
The man is so great,
Huge,
So Winneba Youth Choir performed the song. I wasn't there, but somebody taught them and they performed the song. So I was in Legon when somebody came to call me that Professor Nketia wants to see you. And I said, me?
Wow.
So they said, yes, Prof wants to see you. So I went to Professor. I thought maybe I had quoted some part of his composition that I wasn't supposed to do. So I was so scared. So when I got there, he asked me, are you the one who composed Mobodewu? I said, yes. He said, what inspiration did you get? So he asked me a couple of questions. Then he told me that I was going to be a great composer. Wow. I left the place. I could not even remember which leg to take first.
I know. For someone like that to say this to you.
So from then he became my father. And so I realized that I was picking up from the things they had done unconsciously. So Professor Nketia didn't teach me in class, but he inspired me so much. But Professor William Anku did. He taught me in school. He inspired me so much, and I think that he instilled the discipline of African music and African rhythm into me. And Professor John Collins. I don't know if
I know John Collins, the white man.
Yes. And Dr. Joshua Moa. Yes, they were all my tutors. They all, in fact, have a lot of influence on me and my music.
And are you also mentoring other people? Yes. I'm sure a lot of people are taking inspiration from you from afar, but those you know.
Yes. I have mentored quite some musicians in this country. But I would like them to mention it themselves.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
for sure, I know Kweku Frimpong, whom people call Black Handle.
Okay.
Is one of them. He's here taking pictures now.
Ah.
And he's going to be a great musician.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, he's actually been
already.
I
He's
think
already.
You've performed here before, haven't you? Yes, yes.
Yeah. But you know, let's open the conversation up to music in general. When you listen to Ghanaian music, you know, in terms of composition, in terms of putting lyrics together, what comes to your mind? Is this the kind of music you expect to hear coming from Ghana?
Yes, we are so blessed as a nation. I mean, look at what's going on. There are a lot of choirs, a lot of groups in the country, and people are doing so well. You know, music is a creative sort of thing, so you don't have to say this person is doing it right or that person is doing it right. You know, it depends on who is listening to it and who likes it. But I think that so far we are doing very, very well as a nation. Sometimes I think that we are so gifted that we don't even value what we have.
I was going to ask you that.
Yes, that's what we call the curse of abundance. I think that just before I got in here, David and the other panel on this show were talking about the National Theatre and other things. And I was thinking that if we have someone to organize all of these things and put the gifts that we have into place, I think that there's a lot that we can do. Because right now, everybody is saying that the future of Christianity is in Africa.
Yeah.
It's dying in Europe and elsewhere. So we are sort of exporting even our Christianity, especially Pentecostalism.
Yeah.
So very soon our music is going to be all over the world. So how we respect it, how we package it, and how we encourage those who do it is very, very important. But to answer your question, we are doing well.
Great, great. Now, you have been in Ghana. You are also in the United States. You know, when you compare the two, what do you think we can do, you know, to better our chances? Like you rightly said, when we are bathing, we are singing. When we are pounding fufu, we are singing. So we take it as part of us, and you know, it's an everyday kind of thing. How do we, you know, turn the fortunes of music around? You know, because like we're mentioning, talking about the National Theatre, it appears when it comes to culture and tourism, we always say that it is part of us, so we are not really paying particular attention to it. What do we need to do? How can we change things?
Yes, I think we can change things by respecting that God has given us this gift, you know. Sometimes when you talk about the government helping us, or maybe the Ministry of Tourism or something, people say they don't have to do things for you. You have to find a way to do things yourself. But if, for instance, we have like an annual sort of festival for youth choirs in Ghana, for instance, if the government creates that kind of space or avenue, it will inspire a lot of people to want to do things like that. We don't have to wait for the individuals to be doing their own thing here and that kind of thing. So if we can create that kind of space where we let people who have talent show what they have, and we let the people see that the government respects and affirm what they are doing, I think it will go a long way to help us.
What is your current, I mean, you know, you're obviously, you'll be a very busy person with demands from everywhere, but what does your normal day look like?
My normal day, these days I teach. I teach at Wisconsin International University.
Okay.
Yes, we have a music department there. I teach there. And then there are other places where I also teach on part-time basis, like the Pentecost Theological Seminary. They do have a music program there.
Okay.
Yes. So I help there too sometimes. And then I run what we call the Institute of Church Music Ghana.
Okay.
It's for people who are already in music in the church, you know, who don't have the time to go to school for 3 years to study music or something, but they want to polish up. So we meet them in the evenings and then we help them, that kind of. So I plan for all of these, and then I organize workshops and things like that.
There's a question that I have, is ringing in my head. You know, among Christendom, there's this, people have divided opinions on this issue with music, whether you know, as somebody who is a person of faith, should you exclusively, you know, listen to and participate in Christian music, or is it okay as a Christian to also, you know, listen to other other genres of music, you know, that are not necessarily Christian. What's your take on it as somebody who has come from a place of, I mean, you're born into church, you've been part of church, you're a reverend minister's son and a reverend yourself, you know, and a consummate musician at that. What's your take on this?
All right. David, thank you very much. I think this has been debated here and there. There are churches who say you shouldn't even play music in the church at all. The churches who don't, you know, support the playing of instruments. They say you should only sing it with your voices. And there are others who don't mind anything. Well, I think it all depends on your faith. Now we are talking about a Christian, talking about two people here. Someone who is not a Christian, someone who is a Christian. If the person is not a Christian, they don't mind whether the music is Christian or secular, we should say. But if the person is a Christian, it's where the problem is. Then you ask whether the person should listen to Abin Waha or they should not listen to it.
I like that Lumba, by the way.
Yeah, yes, I love Lumba too. So, David, I think it all depends on one's faith. Where, and the
so what it is that you personally believe.
Yes. And it was Charles Wesley, you know, I'm a Methodist. It was John Wesley, actually, who said that when your faith, you have that kind of faith that trembles before people who are worldly, then you need to, you know, go and work on your faith, you know, that kind of thing. So if you say there are witches in my house or I'm living here, that means they have run you out.
Of course.
You know, but so it should be the other round. It should be the witches should either say because of you,
so
we are
running.
Yes, that kind of. So it depends on the level of your faith. If your faith is not that strong, because music has that power, you know, to linger on. When you hear a tune, you keep on playing it in your head, you know. So maybe people fear that it forms what we call the oral theology that we sort of. So if you don't have that strong faith and you listen to that kind of music, then it is going to stick. And the people fear that that is what is now going to motivate you to do things, and in this case, it will be the wrong things. But if you have a strong faith, in the case of David and Mami Prema, I know you can listen to any kind of music, and
we will not be shaking.
Yes, we will not be shaking.
But you know, when we were singing, I don't remember. You said you don't sing. No, I've noticed, or I'm not too sure, you know, but a lot of amazing composers do not sing. You know, so they do their works and other people perform their songs. Why is it so?
Freeman, that's why we are not rich. You see, when it comes to the gospel musicians or those you call popular musicians, they write the songs or other people write it for them, but they are the front people. They sing it, so people see them. So you can invite them to go and perform elsewhere. You know, my wife and I attended the MTN gospel music program, and we had some nice artists there performing. My wife was telling me, you should be doing this, and I said, it's too late in my life. I can't even try to
No, but it's
so
never too late.
We write the songs and we give it out for people to sing. That's the thing in the arts music, you know. We write the song and then choirs perform our songs.
Okay.
Well,
so
all I can say is I hope you keep writing. And more inspiration and more good stuff come your way. But I think we should sing that song again. What do you think?
Why not? You know, I do remember I can sing it from morning to evening, you know, and I just don't get tired of it. So it's Adomi Ehumo Bro Nedima Bejuhane Nyame Nyewadoma Ka Asitne Neyedenkwa Obrano Yedenkwa Naswadom no dimikaida Nyame wadum yi na shemya besine. You never gave the promise that the journey would be easy. Your grace and mercy has brought me thus far. Your grace and mercy is all I need. Your grace and mercy has brought me thus far. Dromosong, 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 kemo bonale.
grace and mercy has brought me thus far. Adoni ehumobro nedea bedruhane. Your grace and mercy has brought us thus far.
I think we can take the offering now. Reverend, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a blessing to us.
Newlove Kojo Annan.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. Breakfast Daily will continue.
Obiya adia osaseda osentontom osayeyi neni onyamso fatanwa womfamano.
Obiya adia osenshiro
Nobody kasibe fatanwa womfamani dinda. Obiya adia osaseda osentontom osayeyi neni onyamso fatanwa womfamano.
Obiya adia osenshiro
Nobody kasibi fatanwa womfamani dinda.
Obiya adia osesida osentontom osayeyi neni onyamso fatanwa womfamano. Obiya adia osenshira nobody kasibi fatanwa womfamani dinda. Womfamano